Hi guys, so today I'm making some Italian beef stew. I have one big onion here, 2 stalks of celery, and 10 cloves of garlic. I'm just waiting for my beef to thaw out so I can start cooking. So I cut up all my beef into nice chunks, added loads of black pepper and salt, and also moved everything here. So guys, I sprinkled some flour on top of my beef that has been heavily salted and peppered. You can see I love a lot of black pepper on my beef. And I'm going to brown those guys and just put it in a bowl. And I also forgot to say that I have some thyme and some rosemary from the garden. And this is what I will be flavoring our stew with. And also a little backstory about this. I know it's summer and I'm making beef. Would never do because I like that kind of food for the winter. But this is not for us. This is for Cliff's grandma. She's been really sick lately and she's been at the hospital and she's going back home today. Not to worry that I would bring dinner, and she really would like something nice and soft, and she loves beef stew. So this is what I'm making for her, and I'm also making some rolls. So I'm just heating up my Le Creuset, and I'm just waiting for it to get nice and warm to brown out. So I'm doing the beef in batches because I want a nice kind of like brown crust around it. And I don't want to add too much beef in my pot because the temperature will go down and I won't get a nice crust. I think we might do like 3 batches. While the beef is browning, I took some of the rosemary off of the stem and I'm going to run my knife over it. Can I get it small and really minuscule because you don't want to choke on that. But so good already. And for the thyme, I'm just going to put it in the stew like that. By the end, I'll just remove the whole brain. So this is what the rosemary looks like. You can see how small those bits are, almost like disappearing in the stew. Nice and soft because you know how tough the rosemary leaves are. So just make sure, and it's very a lot, like a little bit goes a long way. And you just want it that small. And here's our beef. This is the last batch. You see how nice and brown this is? Exactly what you want. So I'm going to move that into my little bowl here, and then we can start adding the onion. I feel like it because it is 1:32 right now, and this will take 3 hours. She does eat at 5:30, so I don't have a lot of time. You see all the brown bits at the bottom of my pot, and not like almost barely any oil, which is good. This is what you want. You don't want like a greasy mess. So this is just flavor and goodness. A little more oil and get my onion and salt. So I did add a little salt. This is what you want. So the water can come out of the onion and you can get all the brown bits that's in the bottom. Now, this is literally just a waiting game. Everything is nice and brown and caramelized. I mean, I think beef stew is very easy to make. It's just the steps. You make sure not to miss any steps and just make sure everything is nice, and that's a lot of flavor in there. This smells so good right now. And make sure when you're in there, you get the bottom. Get all that really good beef flavor in there. It smells so good. I cannot wait to have this. I haven't made beef stew in a long time. Actually, I don't even remember the last time I made this. But I usually make mine slightly different. See, I don't like to put potatoes and carrots in my. I like the beef separate, so it's nice and like creamy and tender, like that nice little sauce. I like to make mashed potatoes and roast my carrots. But grandma loves everything in there. Kind of like an stew. She loves the potato in there, the carrots in there. So I'm merging what she likes with my own recipe. So I think that would be kind of nice and easy for a lot of people. So I was saying, I think having everything in one pot is a lot easier for a lot of people because they just want like a one pot meal and they're not picky like I am. But I mean, try it my way and see if you like having the beef separate and mashed potato and roasted veggies and of course homemade rolls. So I just added the rosemary and the garlic in my onion, and I'm letting that kind of warm through for about maybe a minute or so. And I wanted to talk to you about the wine. So in a lot of beef stew, you have the regular red, but the one that I love, my favorite, I love to use Chianti wine. Now, if you've never had Chianti wine, the flavor is incredible. It's rich and sweet. It's full body wine. It's fantastic. I mean, this will totally change your regular beef stew into something totally elevated. So if you want, please try it. Wine, it's so good. And also, this is my favorite beef broth. I have tried a lot of them throughout the years, the store-bought kind, and this one, the flavor. So I know I'm going against what I said earlier about the onion, but if I had more time, those onion would go for another maybe a good 10-15 minutes. But it's getting so late. It's close to 2 o'clock now, and the beef and it needs to cook for 3 hours. So I just added the wine and just hope for the best. I know that it will be really good, but it would have been nicer to have that nice caramelized kind of deep onion the beef and the broth, and I'm getting ready to get my thyme to put on there. But I think we have a problem. My pot is not big enough. By the time I add all the potatoes and carrots, I don't think it's all going to fit. Kind of nervous now. I think it will be fine, but do I actually have to make mashed potatoes now and just put the carrots in there? I think I might have to do that. I have 8 potatoes. I don't think they will fit. So lid on and see that beauty in 3 hours. So I just put in a 2-hour timer because this is when I would add the carrots and the potatoes so that they can cook for another hour, and also the mushroom. So those veggies can 1 hour and they don't become this giant mush. They're still nice and delicious and you can taste everything. So let's cross our fingers and see how much room we have in 2 hours. So I chopped up my carrots. I have 5 big carrots and a whole container of mushroom that I just quartered because, you know, I don't want it to be too small. I like to be able to see what I'm eating. I don't like it when everything is a big mush. So that's also why I like putting the vegetable, if I'm doing like a one pot thing, at the very end. So I also cut this diagonally, and I like growing up, my mom used to cut vegetable into fun shapes for us, and carrots were like flowers, or they were cut this way, but never boring, and I love that. So that's definitely. So I really just wanted to make sure that those will fit in my pot and close properly and be able to cook. And if there's no room for the potatoes, then I'll just cook them in the Instant Pot really fast and make a quick mash. I have to see how much cheese I have left. I used quite a bit of it in the little squash tart from yesterday. So the beef is still going, and I actually warmed up my milk in my measuring cup. I used the back of my fork to get some of the honey. So again, it's 1 cup of milk, half a cup of water. I warm it up to about 110. It's definitely hotter than 110 right now, so I figured I'll just add my 2 tablespoons of butter and my honey so everything can melt while the milk temperature goes down. So the beef is still going, and we have 45 minutes left before I have to add the veggies, and I'm just waiting for the temperature to go down on this, and then I can add my yeast and let that bloom for a little bit. I also have a whole video on those rolls, and they're just so yummy, really delicious. You should definitely make them. I mean, from start to finish, it says an hour roll, but maybe a little over minutes or so, but they're just added my yeast, and I'm going to let this hang out for about 10 to 15 minutes. And in the meanwhile, I think I'm going to add some flour in my kitchen. So I did 3.5 cups of flour in here with 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to let this guy just mix everything up. And then when my milk mixture is ready, I just have to pour everything in. Okay, this looks delicious. I have about 12 minutes left now, and you can hear the bread kneading in the KitchenAid. So I'm going to remove the little thyme branches and then put everything in it. But definitely looks like, look at the pot, like there's room for all the veggies to go in there, which is a huge relief. All the veggies that's going in. I have 5 potatoes in here, and I think 5 big carrots and a whole container of mushroom. And I did taste the sauce, so I did add a little bit of salt to it because all the veggies. So, and then that will go in my pot and cook for another. Looks like that was just enough veggies. So we'll go back on and another hour. So guys, I have buttered my dish really well, and look at my dough, it puffed up nicely. And now I'm going to divide this and then put it in there and let it rise. Guys, so this is what it looks like. I got about 16 rolls, and of course, you know me, they're not the same size. I mean, they're close, but this is going to rise for another 15 minutes or so. I'll just cover it again and preheat my oven over it, and my oven is ready and it's at 400 degrees. Okay, they have been egg washed, and this is going in the oven for about, like I said, 15 to 20 minutes and at 400 degrees. And my stew should be ready in about 5 minutes. Here's the beef stew. It looks beautiful. I tasted it. Tastes really good. I'm debating about adding peas or not. I'm not sure if she likes peas, but like if it was just for Cliff and I would this with some nice parsley and some lemon zest, because that adds so much brightness to the dish. And especially a dish that has been simmering and cooking for hours, lemon zest and parsley. But grandma does not like that, so I think I'll just keep things as is. So while the bread is baking, I've been kind of skimming the oil off of it, just like that. And you can see how much oil is on top. You don't want that. And the oil will just be on the very top, so you won't get any of the sauce. See? Oh, sorry. I forgot to move the phone. I'm a terrible videographer. But look at how much fat is in that tiny bowl. I think also one trick that would help with the oil on top is if you made this earlier and let it cool off, the oil should solidify. You can put it in the fridge for like an hour or something after it cooled off. You can just remove the fat, just like that. But for this whole pot, and you saw I did not put a lot of oil in this, but because it's a chuck roast, it has quite a bit of fat, and this is what we got. You definitely want to remove it. I know I would, unless you like it a little fatty, but I mean, no problem with that. Your roast, your stew, you can even eat it however it is. Guys, we have our roll, we have our stew. It's been an adventure. It's 5:09, so as soon as Cliff gets home, I will pack everything up and we're headed that way. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and leave me a comment and let me know how you make your stew, and I'll see you next time. Bye, I think guys. It wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't say bye and then I still have something to say. So I just pull a roll. It's so hot, but I can't resist. I need some butter while it's piping hot so I can burn my nail. Oh, Cliff is home. Okay, so I almost inhaled the whole thing. But okay, I have to go now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.